Hello Bookish Babes and welcome to my book nook. For those that are new here, I'm Rainy Blue. I'm an elementary music teacher and middle school musical theater teacher by day. I also love to do booktube when we talk about thriller and horror, sometimes historical fiction, sometimes romance, a little bit of fantasy and YA. And that's all you need to know. So if you're interested in that, then click like, subscribe for new videos every Sunday, except for like right now because it's like end of December, beginning of January, so there's lots of videos. But I am very excited because I am finally doing a really awesome TBR game. And so I've been looking around at a lot of different people and I was like, oh, I'm going to do a Monopoly one. That already exists through Becca's Bookopoly, which anybody that I was inspired by, I will link their videos down below. And then I was like, oh, I'll do a Wheel of TBR one. That's already one. I'll do Trivial Pursuit. I'll do Jenga. They were all taken. And so I said, I'm just going to make my own game up, and I'm going to utilize my favorite show of all freaking time, and that is Friends. That is Friends. That's why this is called The One With the TBR. Because if you know anything about the Friends show, every single episode is called The One With. And if you are a true Friends aficionado, then you will recognize the title of this game board. Because there was a trivia game episode where Chandler and Joey are challenging Rachel and Monica. And they're trying to, the deal is, if the boys win, they get to switch apartments with them. And if the girls win, then the boys have to get rid of their chick and their duck, which is actually a rooster. And so it's this fun game. And so I decided, well, why not replicate that? I have everything from all of the titles, even to the lightning round category. And so I'm going to prop this right here. And since this is our first time using this TBR board, I'm going to explain how it works, what is going to happen with the board, all of these wonderful dice that I have, and trivia stuff. And then I'm going to hopefully choose my TBR. My goal is to do 5. My goal is to choose 5 books off of this TBR list. That way I'm still able to pick other books during the month that I want to read because I don't want it to choose all of my TBR. But it has all different sorts of prompts, categories. I've done lots of research to have cool prompt ideas so I'm not just picking like the same books over and over. And yeah, I think this is going to be a fun time. So let's go over rules for this. So let me talk you through the categories first. There are 4 categories and they each relate to a different type of genre. So we have fears and pet peeves, which that is going to be thriller and horror. Ancient history, which is going to be romance. Literature, which is going to be historical fiction and like contemporary fiction, just like general fiction. And then It's All Relative is going to be sci-fi fantasy. And then I have this lightning round, which we will get to in just a minute. I will explain what that is. But then we have all these different colors. We have blue, pink, green, yellow, and orange, and numbers on it. The numbers don't really mean anything except for the dice. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a set of die 2 times, or 1 time, and whatever number it gets, let's say it does a 3 and a 6, and it gets 36, I'm going to go over here to the board, and I'm going to see what color that is. And so this is a green. So then I have a bucket full of green prompts, and let's just pretend that this is the green prompt that I chose, and I would choose this prompt. So this prompt says, read an author's, let me see if it's going to zone in. Read an author's debut novel. So then I would go up here and see if I have any where I have their debut novel. And if I don't, I would choose one to borrow from the library or something to that effect. And so that would be one of my choices. So that's how I'm going to be doing it. Now, where this colorful die comes into play is for the lightning round. And so how that works is we might not actually get any lightning round this time because the only way you get to the lightning round is through I got inspired for this rule by Sydney Bookworm, and I think she got inspired by somebody else for this, where every time I get the same category 3 times in a row, it doesn't have to be like necessarily 3 times in a row, but just like 3 times in general, or I get the same number 3 times, I'm going to be marking it down in my little journal. And so let's say I've gotten fears and pet peeves 3 times, or I've gotten the number 36 3 times. That requires a roll for the lightning round. And so this is a die that has 2 greens on it. I borrowed it from a board game that I really hate. 2 greens, a purple, a black, a yellow, and a blue. And based off of what I roll, that will determine which one of these lightning round cards that my sister drew, I think they are just quite comical, is going to constitute. So let's go over those really quick. If I roll a green, that is add a spin, which means I would have to read 6 books this month. If I roll purple, I have to phone a friend. I have to call a friend, and they have to give me a book recommendation. Blue is the Goodreads challenge. So that's where I will roll these dice together and just scroll down my friend's like Goodreads list, and whatever number I get is the book that I have to read. I really don't want that one. Then we have yellow is blind bookshelf roll. I'm just going to blindly roll a number and count, and that's the book that I'm going to pick. And then black is the worst one. That's nightmare prompt. And I have a couple of cards that say stuff like choose a trope that you hate, pick a book from an author that you haven't liked, and stuff. And I would have to do that. And if I don't want to do that prompt, I have to read 2 additional books that month. So, like, it's going to be tough. But yeah, so we might not get lightning round for January, which is fine. Oh, I forgot to mention the most important part. I don't just have to do these. I have to add friends trivia. So I have this friends board game right here, and I decided I'm going to use it. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have this timer, and this is going to be exactly like lightning round from the Friends show. And it has 5 questions on it, and the timer is going to run, and I have to answer at least 3 out of 5 of these correctly. If I'm a true Friends fan, I would get them all, but some of these are really tough. And so I have to get 3 out of 5 of these correct. If I do, I don't have to do the prompt. If I don't, I definitely have to do the prompt. So let's just do an example for this because that would be super fun. In her dream, who saved Phoebe from a burning building? Oh my god, I don't know. I'm going to skip it. What did Joey do to sabotage Janine's dance partner? Oh, he put water on the front of his pants to make it look like he peed. What did Ross and Monica call the dance steps they used on New Year's Eve? The routine. Name one of the 2 kinds of classes that Rachel and Phoebe took together. Oh, they took a book club together, I think. Why did Joey hire a twin? Oh, God. Because he wanted an acting gig, I think? All right, let's see. Splash water on his pants, the routine, literature, got that. To make $2,000 in an identical twin study. Yeah, I didn't get that. But I got 3 out of the 5, so I wouldn't have had to do the lightning round. So that's how that's going to work. Okay? I've done other cards like this, and that was not as easy. So I'm actually quite proud of myself, fam. I'm a true Friends fan. Okay, so now that you know the rules and all the game, we are just going to get started. And I am going to start with my first roll and see where that takes us. I got 34. So let's see where that is. 34. Oh, okay, right here. So it's under thriller and horror. We're starting out well, and it is a yellow prompt. So let me grab my yellow prompts. I believe I categorized these prompts as well, and I cannot remember right now what I picked them as. But we're going to shuffle them up. And here we go. Right here. Okay. I know you can't read that. Read a book with a protagonist who is different from you. Gender, ethnicity, sexuality, etc. Ooh, I am very excited for this. I think I actually know which book I am going to read for this, so let me go grab it real quick. Okay, I got very sad, fam, because I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to read Felix Ever After, because that immediately came to mind, because he's black and queer and transgender, and that is so not me. But this is not thriller and horror, so away it goes. All right, I found one that I picked. I picked My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing, which I actually just picked up for Your Own Good at the end of December and really loved it. This one is from the guy's perspective, and so that's why I picked it, because he's not the same gender as me. But about every marriage has secrets, everyone has flaws, your wife isn't perfect, you know that, but then again, neither are you. You first saw her at an airport, you spent your last $20 to switch seats and sit next to her on the flight home. But it was worth it when you tentatively made your first joke and she laughed. You fell in love, you had kids, you moved to the suburbs, you told each other your biggest dreams and your darkest secrets, and then you got bored. We all have our secrets to keeping a marriage alive. Ours just happens to be getting away with murder. That not sound awesome, or what? I am so excited to read this. I'm really glad that this ended up on my TBR for January. And so yeah, this is book number 1. Let's do our second roll. Our next number is 15, so let's see where it is. Ooh, it's orange, and it's under literature/historical fiction. All right, let's see what we're picking. Okay, let's shuffle, and here we go. Read the lowest rated book on your TBR for literary and historical fiction. That is not fun. Not fun at all. All right, let me go figure that out and I'll be back. It took a while to find out which of my fiction / historical fiction-y ones was like the lowest rated book on your TBR. And this one, I don't know. I think this is actually romance, but we're just going to go with it. We're just going to go with this because it was kind of hard to find one that was like low rated that I already own. And I don't want to be getting books that I don't have because I'm on like a book buying ban right now. So we're just going to go with the lowest rated book on my Goodreads TBR right now. And that is The Pisces by Melissa Broder, who also wrote Milk. And this is about a girl that bangs a fish, essentially. Like, that's the premise. I don't know about this, fam. We're going to read it. But this might be an interesting time. So, we shall see. Let's go to rule number 3. Rolled a 21, which is 21. All right, 21 is a green and it's in the It's All Relative section. So we got sci-fi fantasy. Ooh, this is going kind of well. All right, let's grab green real quick. And here we go. Read a 2022 new release. And I put in parentheses or 2021 because 2022 hasn't happened yet. Well, I mean, it has now because it's January, but like a lot of books from 2022 haven't come out yet. All right, so we're going to read a 2021 new release that I have, that is fantasy, that I haven't read yet. So let me go find that, and I'll be back to you. I'm really excited. I get to read The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey. And before you go off on me and say, no, that is a psychological thriller, if you type in the Echo Wife genre on Google, the first thing that pops up is science fiction and then thriller. So we're going to go with it, fam. It might be a little bit of a stretch, but I'm really excited to read this. I just got this for Christmas for my mom. So yeah, I'm excited. This TBR is actually going pretty well, except for the weird fish book. All right, let's go to rule number 4. All right, we rolled a 36. So that, oh, that's funny. I was just talking about that. So it's another green prompt, but it's in the literature, historical fiction, and literary fiction section again. So let's see what we get with that. I mix in the cards. Read from an author you've disliked before. Well, if I look at my fiction / historical fiction shelves, I actually don't have an author up there that I've disliked from before because I haven't read a lot of those. Actually, no, I've read from Ern Sterling, but that's the romance section. So, we're going to pick a different prompt and put this back in the stack for later. Let's try it again. Read a 5-star prediction. Ooh, I can't wait. Let me go grab my 5-star prediction list and pick one out of this section. I swear this TBR could not have gone better if I had planned it. Because a 5-star prediction for me was Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And so I'm finally going to read this. Like, I'm so beyond excited to read this. I'm sure I'm going to read this in like a day. And I need to make sure to get the audiobook, which if I don't have it, I will get it somehow because I've heard that this book is fantastic on audiobook and I'm so stoked. So this is just about a girl and a band, I believe, from the 60s. Oh yeah, it was Book of the Year. I forgot about that. Yeah, Daisy is a girl coming of age in the late 60s. She gets noticed by the Six, ends up touring with the Six, and like it's just all about why the band broke up and like what happened. I'm so excited. I can't even wait. All right, let's do our final roll. All right, so we got number 35. Let's see. All right, 35 is orange. And so it is also from the literature, historical fiction, and literary fiction section, which that means we picked 3, which means I have to add another roll after this. So whoopee-ki-yay. All right, let's pick orange. Choose from your physical TBR with your eyes closed. Well, it's not going to be hard because literally only these 2 shelves. So I'm going to just close my eyes and come back with a book. I feel like that wasn't entirely fair because like I already kind of know where like each book is, but I tried and did it as easily as I could, and I got one that I'm excited to read. It's called Next Year in Havana by Chanel Clayton. My friend has recommended this series to me, so I'm super excited to read it. It basically says, after the death of her beloved grandmother, a Cuban-American woman travels to Havana where she discovers the roots of her identity and unearths a family secret hidden since the revolution. So it sounds really good. I'm excited to read it and give it a whirl. So that's what we will read. And then I have one more roll to do because I got literary/historical fiction like 3 times. So let's do our final roll. Editing Rainy coming to say that if I get that category 3 times in a game, it's not do another roll. It was do the lightning round of the game. So we're going to do lightning round and change up what the TBR initially was. And so here we go. So I have my lucky die. And I'm just gonna roll it, see what color I get, and then we'll match it up to the lightning round. Green is add a spin. And so we're just gonna go with the spin that I would have picked, but I'm gonna try the Friends trivia first, see if I can answer at least 3 out of 5 correct. And if I do, I don't have to add another spin. So hopefully the odds are in my favor. My friend's knowledge is being put to the test. Here we go. Phoebe dated a physicist. What was his name? Dang it! Which friend kissed Chandler's mom? Ross. Who plays the part of Chandler's dad? Oh, freaking frackin', I don't know! What's the name of the actress who plays Chandler's mom? Oh my god. What is Chandler's mom's occupation? She's a romance writer. Like those, like, you know, I don't know how to explain it, like, she's just a romance writer. Oh, come on. What was his name? Oh! I failed. David. Dang it. Kathleen Turner, Morgan Fairchild, romance novelist, got that, and Ross. So I only got 2 out of 5. So we have to add another roll. So here's the roll that already happened. Okay, so I got 35 again, which is orange. Which means we've also had 3 orange in this video, which would mean I would have to do another one. You know what? I think I'm going to do 3 for this, 5 for color. So we're not going to add another book. I just decided that. All right, it says, read a secondhand book. Okay, so read a secondhand book, which most of these are secondhand books that I picked up for historical fiction/literary fiction. All right, let me go decide. Okay, so that took a minute because a lot of those actually were new. And so I went with The Ghost Bride by Yangtze Chu. So this was from Peruse Project's TBR a while back. I don't know too much about it. I think it's about, let's see. Li Lan is the daughter of a bankrupt family. She has few prospects, but fate intervenes when she receives an unusual proposal from the wealthy and powerful Lim family. They want her to become a ghost bride for the family's only son who recently died under mysterious circumstances. Rarely practiced, traditional ghost marriages are used to placate restless spirits. Such a union would guarantee her a home for the rest of her days, but at a terrible price. And so it's about all of that. Sounds quite intriguing. I'm interested. Ooh, this book has definitely seen better days. Look at that sad spine crack. But you know what? I bought this for $3, I think, on secondhand books. So you know what? It's okay. We'll survive. I'm excited to read it regardless. So these are the 6 books that my Magic TBR game chose for me. A nice little stack. So we have My Lovely Wife, The Pisces, The Echo Wife, Daisy Jones and the Six, Next Year in Havana, and The Ghost Bride. So now let's talk about books that I am planning on reading in January outside of those books. I'm not going to share all of them because a couple of them are secret. But the ones that I can share with you, I'll share right now. One of the first books that I'm going to be reading is Jade City by Fonda Lee, which I'm so excited I'm finally getting to. I am doing this readathon with Mel Reed's channel. She is doing the Greenbone Saga trilogy, so she's reading this in January, and then Jade Born February, and then Jade Legacy in March. And so I'm excited to do that, and so I'm going to be reading this. I don't know too much about it. I know that it's an epic fantasy where Jade runs the power in the city, and people are all greedy and want it. I don't know much more beyond that. But I'm super excited to read this bad boy. Then we have Gabby Reed's book troop, which that is the only book club outside of Books and Lala, but she hasn't revealed what she's reading yet, that I really wanted to read along with. And so I got Where They Found Her by Kimberly McCreight. It's a backlist book. I've actually heard a lot of the book troop is not liking this, so I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. But I'm reading it for January. It says, motherhood hasn't been easy for Molly Anderson, and the years since the loss of her second child have been a particular struggle. But 6 months after moving from New York City to Ridgedale, New Jersey, she's enjoying life again as mother of a 5-year-old daughter and arts reporter for the local paper. But her stability is threatened when the body of a newborn is found in the woods behind Ridgedale, and she's assigned the story. Over the objections of her increasingly concerned husband, she dives into reporting, determined to prove herself by uncovering the truth. What she finds is a decade-old trail of dark secrets that winds through every corner of the town. Yeah, I mean, it sounds good. We'll see how it is. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I'm also reading this for Books and Lala's Buzzword Challenge, so it worked out because for January it's who, what, when, where, why, or how, and this has where in the title, so that worked out. And then I'm also reading 3 books for Gabby's Winter Ween Readathon, which is January 3rd through the 9th. I will link stuff underneath this video about that. But I know that one of the prompts is to read a book with snow on the cover, and so I picked Taylor Adams' No Exit, which I've heard fabulous things about. This is about a girl that gets stuck in a fierce blizzard in a remote highway rest stop with no cell phone reception, and when she walks back to her car, she finds a kid locked in an animal crate in a van, and there's only 5 people locked in this place, so it's one of those people. Why have they kidnapped her, and who is she? So I'm super excited to read that. And then I think there was one that said, read one that'll give you thrills and chills that's also set in like a winter setting. And so I picked Near the Bone by Christina Henry. I can't wait to read this. This is about a woman trapped on a mountain that's trying to survive more than one kind of monster. There's some sort of monster in the woods, but also her husband is a monster. I cannot wait to read this. And then I have one more book for that Winter Ween. Can't find it right now, so I'm just going to pop a picture of it on the board, and it's Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire, and it said read a novella, and that novella I consider is less than 200 pages. I believe it's like 178, and so I'm going to be reading that. It's the first book in the Wayward Children series, which I'm super excited to get on board with. Oh, I think it's actually right here, so I'm not going to pop a book up. Yep, and so I'm going to be reading this for the Winter Ween Challenge as well. And then the last book that I'm going to really try hard to read, but I'm also going to like probably push this to February, and my friend's going to get mad because I keep pushing the book back, but it's 500 pages, is Haunt by Ren Montgomery. It says, on the verge of divorce, Pete and May Stewart move their 3 little girls into a brand new house in a brand new subdivision, hoping for a brand new start. Instead, they find themselves in the middle of a nightmare, for they are not alone in their new home. Something malevolent walks alongside them. Pete's in denial, but May understands the truth. It's after their children. I mean, it sounds great. It's a Christian, like, horror novel, which I'm super excited about. But, like, it's really long. So, if I don't get to this, I'll do it in February. I'm going to read it ASAP because they really want me to read it. But, yeah. And then that's all I'm going to share with you. Here's our very ambitious January TBR stack. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books on here. Is this gonna happen? Plus, I had, like, a couple books I wanted to read for a secret TBR, and, like, now I might have to push those back because, I don't know, fam. I just don't know. Plus, if I don't have the audiobook available, then, like, this is not gonna happen. But, yeah, that's what I'm gonna read for January. Thanks for playing along with me, and we will see you next month for our second edition of The One With The TBR. Bye, friends.